Hello and welcome to Let's Call This Justice Talks, the podcast where we delve into important social justice issues and all the good stuff that's relatable, affecting our communities and the world at large. I'm your host. My name is Lavera, and today we're going to have a thought provoking discussion, as usual, on social justice. Good morning. Are you my host today? No, you're not. Over there, honey. Your mom doesn't want you on the video. Okay. So, you want your chair? No, okay. Let me put this here, okay? All right, so, guys, we're going to say this is segment one, defining social justice. Okay, let's start by defining what we mean by social justice. And you can weigh it differently. I mean, we all have different opinions and things of that nature. Oh, thank you. Give that to Auntie. It's beautiful. Okay. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean? In essence, social justice is about promoting, right? Here, sorry. It's about promoting. Um, put it here, okay. This is not for you to be dancing around this area, honey. Okay. Um, oh, Christ. Okay, so it's not necessarily for um, people to. We define it differently, as I stated. I told you it's always a kerfuffle agent. As soon as I turn the mic on, here he is. Yeah. Um, but what does it really mean? In essence, I can say that social justice is about promoting fairness and equality, which is an ideal society, ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources, and fighting against systematic injustices. We can say that, okay? But let's get to it. Current issues, okay? I mean, let's go back to this defining social justice. This could look like a lot of things, as I stated, and the way I just defined it, um, it sounds like everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources, and fighting against systematic injustices. Now, by the way, this is live from Chicago, guys, so you're going to hear a lot in the background, okay? I'll try and control it or manage it, okay? So, promoting fairness and equality, ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources, and fighting against systematic injustices. It's something here that I'm not necessarily feeling, I guess. And I'm checking my feelings. I'm checking them. Because, as we know, there's always some weird type of vibe in a lot of these cities and states here. So, in essence, social justice is about promoting fairness and equality, ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources, and fighting against. All right, so ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources. Let's move on. Current issues. This is segment two, by the way. We're going to talk about some of the pressing social justice issues of our time, from racial inequalities and gender discrimination to economic disparity and environmental justice. There's no shortage of these areas, of course, where we need to make change or see it. Now, I'm going to put these two together because we'll leave that alone. Defining social justice, that is what it is. But I guess we're looking at the current issues that don't make that what it should be. The injustices, I guess, systematic, people fighting over resources at each other and against the powers. Oh my God. Um, so social injustices or issues of the time. I can hear, I'm serious, someone's ancestral line saying, "We ain't slaves, bitch." I'm sorry. We ain't no damn slaves, right? We don't do it like that. And they are literally calling for justice. And naturally, there are people that actually died for freedom. There were people that worked hard to get free and to make sure that their future families had this freedom to choose and live their lives according to social justice. Social means society, the way we relate to each other, things of that nature. And justice, as you know, it's a biblical term, right? It is. It's a biblical term that means fairness, as you stated. Um, and that I don't know. There are people that really want to suppress other people. It's like you can call it the poor robbing rich, and then they're saying they're rich and oppressing you over your stuff and ancestors, the people that died before you. Doesn't matter their race, their space, whatever. They said we're not slaves, bitch, and we coming for us. That's a T-shirt. I'm just saying. It said we're not slaves, bitch, and we coming for our shit. Yes. Now I don't know who that is going to relate to or reach to, but people need to literally just remember that people literally marched and died for their freedom, which is pure gold. And no one has a right at all at any time without justification, true justice, to take that away. Your power to choose, your power to be free. You know, we understand that in society there are people that are doing damnable things and may need restrictions and correction and direction, everything. They may need that attention, that legal attention to bring justice to a situation. But there are absolutely people out here that aren't bothering anyone that may have come into some type of wealth at some point in their lives just through these injustices from the past, you know. As we will know, those that are probably from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it wasn't very far from your birth that slavery and different things were still happening. And that people were still in land. And they didn't look like you. And they were saying it was their land. And, you know, they were pushing you off of properties and killing your family off and doing various things. And you may not have been aware of it as a child. But lo and behold, those people that died before you to ensure that you were free and that you would get justice at some point are directing you into the social justice realm of understanding that no matter how old or young you are, you're justified, you're qualified, you're equipped, you are legitimate. Society wants a lot of people to feel that they're not legitimate, that they're not qualified, that they're not what they should be, and they will try and keep that injustice going, that unfairness. There are many people that owned their families, owned farmland, that good old USDA agriculture. Mm-hmm. Before it was U.S. And, you know, people came to visit and they said, "Up, we're staying." And they said, "Oh, that's ours," and pushed people out the way. And pretended to continue to be friends until they killed your family off or did some documents with their friends and said, "Oops, buddy, looks like this is ours." Or they caused certain conditions such as new farming equipment and new techniques of farming or whatever it was to, you know, make you feel like you were inadequate and out of time, and, you know, didn't give you access to those tools, so you weren't able to produce as quickly to stay in the race. Was that fair? So say you have a farm and a family, and you're doing good. You know, you're well known for your goods all over the world, your business. And someone comes along and start building new machines and putting up new rules and laws of who can get supplies and who can't. Okay, who has access to the wealth of the land and who doesn't, and they exclude your family and a lot of others, and then they end up somehow causing you to default, as I stated, and then come and offer a helping hand that kind of makes you sell your stuff. Like, oh, doesn't like you're going to, what, doing too well, blah, 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 it's just sitting here, and you may have said no. I'll just sit on it, it's mine, and we could, no. We're going to say, no, I think you should sell it, because, it could add to my repertoire, it's not doing good for you, buddy, somehow maybe the father or the main man gets sick or disappear, who knows. And so it's left with a bunch of women that are not probably able to really run the place. And so these people come right back along. What's up? Some may marry, some may cahoot, but you're not controlling your land anymore. You're not producing. And people want to come in and go, we'll do that for you. And end up with the land or something. And you're not benefiting at all, although you're still there. Whatever the case, that is not justice. Justice is a just or fair behavior or treatment. That's in the Bible, Psalms 82nd, chapter 3rd verse. USDA became a very, very sad thing to people that owned land in the South. United States Department of Agriculture. Okay. So you had to have certain things to even operate, sell, and buy your supplies for this particular field of living. And it wasn't always racially equal. I don't think there are a lot of African American farmers left. I know there are some. You see them online. They're still producing and making food, putting it on the shelves to keep up with the times. I don't know if these are newer farmers or people that had land that was passed down, such as my family. I'm very aware of us having agriculture on the property. I'm not sure about animals. I think so, but it was run down. Man, it was run down. Yeah. So, pressing social justice issues of our time. There's many. There's a lot. But racial inequality is another. Gender discrimination. In some cases, if you're a female, there are issues. If you are a male, there are issues. If you have a certain type of identity as relating to sexual identity, there's an issue. I hope I said that right. Economic disparity and environmental justices. I'm telling you, housing issues. There's no shortage of areas, as I stated, that we can talk about. We're gonna start getting guests here soon. Okay. So let's see. We don't have anyone today, but we're gonna continue to invite activists not to argue with us, not to have super strong opinions, but to be able to speak about their experience. Naturally, it can be emotionally triggering. Hi, visitor. How are you? Your mom is calling you. Go get your mom. So, we can I'll tell you what. I like to have a call in. I have a Skype, and maybe once I get it all set up, because it's difficult, we'll have someone come on, and we'll ask them a few questions. Excuse me. I don't know why this is happening while I'm talking, but we would like to thank you guys for your joining us. We're starting on Patreon. We're going to have these discussions. Hopefully, we will have guests on there with us that either call in or and visit us online by video or some type of like Skype. That does go there, sweetie. And hopefully, we'll have our own office at some point. Um, we would appreciate your insight, your comments, your thank yous, the listeners. We will appreciate you joining us for this journey. And remember, social justice starts with each one of us. Let's continue the conversation and work towards our equitable world. And we know that there are people that are very open and willing to starting other societies here on other planets. But in the meantime, join us next time for, we're going to call this Justice Talks, as we continue to explore social justice issues. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, keep fighting for justice, and as always, love yourself. Love yourself. Don't forget about you. Don't be selfish now, but absolutely show yourself love and support from God, the universe. Recognize that you are important, He loves you, and then love someone else. Bye now.